today I'm with Shane Dewald. He's our Vernon North Smith Sons, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go around a renovation. Now this is pre-demolition, and we're going to look at a couple of different aspects in the program. So Shane, welcome. Appreciate you spending some time.
No problem.
And mate, we're going to start with we're out on the deck here, and of course we're in the Okanagan Valley. So mate, give us a quick rundown, and obviously we'll get some shots of what happens in this. You know what's here existing, but just give us a bit of run through what you've agreed upon with the client, as far as the scope of work and what you're doing, and some of the reasons perhaps why you're doing, because I know you're going to take advantage of this view a little bit more. So,
definitely.
Yeah, mate, just tell us what's going on, because this is the deck. So we've got in the background, we've got a swimming pool, there's a hot tub there, the gazebo right there, and of course you've got a deck with an awesome view. So how could you get any better than this? What are you doing?
We're going to push this deck out 10 more feet.
Okay.
Basically slide the living area a little bit further so that you can take advantage of the view. That whole side of the view.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, sitting here, you can get it, but it's not as clean as it could be.
Right.
You know, as you mentioned, it'd be nice to top all those trees off, get the whole panoramic, but you know, we definitely want to take advantage of what comes around that corner too.
Yep, sure.
So when sitting there, you know, basically from this vantage point coming here, the corner of the house kind of cuts it off. So we just want to take advantage of the nice, beautiful scenery we get out here.
The clients want to do a deck reno, and then you chatted to them about the extra 10 feet, or did they say, we want the extra 10 feet and we might as well update all of the handrail and the decking, etc.? How did that roll?
Well, it basically started off at a couple of different conversations. One, we were going to blow it out and extend it all the way across the front of the house. Right. We scaled that back. We were originally, it was going to be replacing this with composite decking anyway.
Right.
So then we got to talking about the idea of pushing it out, taking advantage of the view up front. That didn't quite hit the budget, so we scaled it back. Ironically enough, the expansion is, you know, the first change order, and we haven't even started work yet. So
okay, there you go. So on the deck, so currently there's treated 5 1/4. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's been screwed down, and then we've just got an aluminum powder coated handrail.
Yes.
And so what are we switching out the 5 1/4 with?
So we're switching out to a 5 1/4 6 composite board.
Nice.
We're going to create a couple of different spaces in here just because of the overall length of it and stuff like that. So I'm going to get a little creative, get some, you know, different zones and stuff like that.
Okay.
We're going to go with a cable railing system around it.
So in what type of post? Like a wood post with the cable?
Yep. 4x4 cedar post, and we'll stain it up to match the wood and cable railing throughout.
You see the deck now that it's, you know, basically half as long as what it was. Tell us a little bit about why you're going from a pressure treated wood, and why the clients have put their hand up and said, we actually want to go composite. You know, give us a bit of, just if we've got viewers who are going, well, I've got 5 1/4 at my place. I'm considering, you know, maybe the deck it's starting to split and carry on.
Yeah.
Give us a rundown on the composite, some of the pros and the cons with regards to that composite board decking.
Well, I mean, composite board, it's the most expensive decking out there.
Okay, so that's technically a con.
That's a con right off the bat, but it's zero maintenance for at least 25 years.
There's a pro.
So there's the major pro, right? When you get a wood deck, especially in Okanagan, we get a lot of freeze thaw, we get a lot of snow, we get a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
So you're every 2 years guaranteed you're out here stripping the deck, refinishing it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you want something that's less maintenance, you can go with the Duradeck or vinyl decking.
Yep.
A lot of people have a problem with that stuff because it does get extremely hot on your feet. So you know, you get 35
and composite doesn't get, because it is
not as warm.
Right. Okay.
Right? It does deals. Any decking, any kind of surface that sit out in the sun is going to get warm.
Yeah.
But the composite will be a little bit easier on your feet.
Alrighty, and I think obviously updating the 90s, 2000s handrail, it's just going to add to it, because they've done a lot of work on the exterior with new Hardys, etc. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a valuable upgrade. All right, next scope of work, we're going to head just inside through these French doors, and we're going to chat about the kitchen, yeah?
Perfect.
All right, after you, mate, let's go. So now, obviously what complements a deck is the kitchen space. We've just come through the French doors, and as you can see behind me, there's a very classic 90s kitchen. Shane, tell us about this one. Why, what is wrong with this kitchen? Maybe there's nothing wrong with this kitchen, but it is definitely an older design. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, older design, older materials, so we definitely want to give it a facelift. But we're not utilizing space as best as we possibly can, and we're definitely not taking advantage of the view that we have out the living room windows.
In its current form.
Yeah, sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink this wall back to expose a whole length of counter that's actually going to wrap around and turn into a little bit of a peninsula. We're switching the sink around so that, you know, they can literally turn and face the view as opposed to staring at, I mean, the pool's a nice view too, but you know, I'd rather look out there.
Yeah.
New lighting, obviously, because that has got to go.
That's a great looking light fitting.
Right?
Sure.
But yeah, just an overall update and stuff like that. And we're gonna carry, we've got a lot of different elements coming into this house. You know, some of the stuff we're gonna do with the fireplace, we're gonna clad that in concrete.
Yep.
But to warm it up, you know, get it from that full modern look and contemporary look, we're going to warm it up with some live edge material as well.
Okay.
So we're going to do a live edge mantle on top of the fireplace. We're going to do a whole lot of live edge countertops all the way around the back side. Create like a little bit of a dining niche, but more just seating for, you know, the grandkids, family, all that kind of stuff. They said that they want to be able to sit their computers, you know, set their laptops up at the front and once again take advantage of the view in the morning and stuff like that.
A lot of sunshine coming through, great view.
Exactly,
that's my office.
Yeah, so I mean, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take the old 1970s inefficient windows, get rid of those, get some good low-E going in there and stuff like that. And of course,
all new appliances.
Yeah, all brand new appliances. We're actually converting that to a gas range, so it's going to be a combo gas and electric. And
okay.
Yeah, nice, beautiful stone countertops.
Now, I've seen the plans, and I know over my shoulder here is the kitchen sink. So with, you know, I guess what adds cost to certain renovations is whenever you start moving waste and water, that's obviously is a challenge. So obviously taking the kitchen sink from there to roughly where you're standing, that's going to take a little bit of, you know, ingenuity to get the waste and water there. Have you got that sort of sorted out?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the beautiful thing is that you know, we've got a lovely drop ceiling downstairs that's going to allow us to get in there and get all the mechanical stuff done. We're also going to need to update the wiring in here, bring it up to current standards and stuff like that. Obviously, like I said, new lighting and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, these are all things that you need to think about. It's, you know, sometimes it makes sense to keep things the way they are. Sometimes it's a thing of, you know, let's reimagine the space, right? The beautiful thing about us as contractors, the first time we walk into a home, is we can reimagine the space in about 5 minutes. But something that you've been living with for 15, 20 years, you're probably going to see it in the exact spot that it's at. So, you know, we can come in and say, oh, I would do this and this and this. And it would really get your juices flowing as far as, you know, thinking about all the different things you can do. Ironically enough, we started off with this wall. We were just going to do a pass-through window so that we could keep some uppers and some lowers and just do a little bit of a window and stuff like that. The original thought process was to leave the sink to where it was and all that kind of stuff. But the more we got into the design end of things and stuff like that, you know, we decided, okay, well, let's just get rid of the wall entirely, you know, up to a certain point so we can still keep a couple of upper cabinets across the back wall just for that extra storage. We've got some, you know, big, huge pantries that are going in here that are basically going to take up the majority of that wall now. And yeah, just like I said, reimagining the kitchen, taking advantage of, you know, views, right? You can get stuck. The old style of designing a kitchen, you had a window, you put a kitchen sink, that's great. It didn't matter where it looked. But you might find that, you know, opening things up a little bit, taking advantage of views that you can get is a lot more beneficial to you.
In this day and age, you know, the open plan living is the go.
Yes.
I don't necessarily call that a trend. I just think it's reinventing the space.
Yeah.
And it does, I think, when you've got family, and I mean, I'm a father of 6, as the kids grow up, I mean, I can't imagine, you know, not having a place where we're all in a large family living like this.
Yeah.
And all, because really the kitchen is the centerpiece, essentially. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm glad that that's, you know, what a lot of the influence is, that when we come meet with clients, we actually, we want to help them think about how does this room supposed to function.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly it, right? The ideas of the 50s and 60s kitchens where everything's closed off and away from everything is totally gone out the window. You want, you know, form and function first off. Like you want to be able to enjoy your company. Well, you know, just because you're stuck in the kitchen doing a little bit of work or whatever, preparing stuff, doesn't mean that you have to be completely taken away from whatever else is going on, right? So,
all right, so renovated deck and obviously renovated kitchen. They're probably the biggest parts of this renovation.
Yes.
And now we're going to dash down the hallway, and we've almost like, we're just going to do a slight renovation on the upstairs bathroom, and then also a slight renovation on the downstairs bathroom.
Yeah.
So let's go and take a look at this one down the hallway.
Perfect.
All right, so we're in a tight bathroom, and that's why homeowners want to make the most of this space. Yeah. So Shano, in this room here, even though we're not up for a full bathroom reno, what we're talking about is we've got a shower base at the moment.
Yeah.
Tell us about maybe what you're going to do and why the clients want to do that.
Basically, we're going to get rid of the shower and put a tub back in here, right? So somebody obviously at some point in time took the tub out. We're just going to put the tub in. The homeowner wants a tub, so it totally makes sense. So we're gonna put a tub in, tile surround, get rid of the glass.
So now, something that I like to do, and perhaps I'm a bit of a hoarder, but I like what you've done here, because the existing shower tray or shower base is actually in good condition. Yeah. And of course there's, you know, probably $1,000 worth of glass. Yeah. So part of this thing, and we're going to talk about the downstairs bathroom shortly, is the fact that they're going to repurpose this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we're basically going to, you know, very gently remove this out, and we're going to take it downstairs and put it in the one downstairs, because the one downstairs is very awkward. So
it's a corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a neo-angle corner. It doesn't really suit the space. It's kind of old and dated. So, you know, we're going to give it a nice fresh look with a nice glass shower down there.
And what challenges, I mean, do you face any challenges, or this would be a fairly straightforward exchange?
This is going to be fairly straightforward. I mean, we're assuming, well, I'm not going to assume what they've done in behind here, but we're going to make sure that we completely waterproof it the way it's supposed to be done. So it'll last, you know, at least 20 years type idea for any water leaks and stuff like that. And the reason, one of the other reasons we're going to get it out is because we want to make sure that we're checking in behind the lines and seeing that there's no leaks or anything like that.
Because when was this house built? Do you know the original build?
I'm going to guess sometime in the 70s for sure.
It's a 70s build. Yeah. So essentially, anything behind the wall that you need to check out.
Yeah, we want to, right? I mean, it's one of those things that, I mean, personally, I would love to say, yeah, let's get it and redo it, but there's really nothing else wrong other than a paint job. You know, there's really no visual signs that we really need to do a lot of work in here. And so it was just a thing of let's redo the tub and
doing it at the same time as you do the other parts of the reno. You know, we have some clients go, well, I want to do that, and then in 6 months I'll do that. Yeah. That is, and I understand where they come from, but I'm telling you, you do save money if you've got builders on site. Now's the time to strike.
Yes, definitely. I mean, and that's the thing. The only difference is that we're going to run tip to tail on the 2 bathrooms. We're going to do this one first, and then we're going to do the one in the basement so that there's a functioning bathroom.
Understand.
Right. So right now the functioning bathroom will be in the basement. We'll tackle this one first, get it all done and prettied up, and then we'll move to the basement. But yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about doing your renovations in stages, understandably from a financial standpoint, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But if you can figure out a way to swing it so that your contractors are all in one shot, especially with the volatile market that is the construction industry right now with materials and stuff, sometimes it'll end up being a lot cheaper if you do it all in one shot as opposed to waiting, you know, because that 6 months could mean a 25% price increase in materials.
Exactly.
Right, so you really have to be careful with it.
All right, pretty simple one. Let's dash downstairs and have a look at the destination for a couple of these fittings.
There you go.
And then we'll round it up down there.
Perfect.
All right, let's go. Okay, we are all crammed into this baby bathroom downstairs in the basement, but essentially it's just to round off this little excursion on this project. And essentially there's a corner shower just to my left, and it will be, it will be pulled out. We'll probably look to donate things like this to Habitat for Humanity and bring that one from upstairs down.
Yeah.
Now, is there any other major changes happening in this bathroom, Shane, or is that pretty much what we've talked about?
I mean, that's the scope of it in here, right? Put the new shower in, tile it, all that kind of stuff, put the glass back in. We'll probably end up having to build a wall in order to make everything fit.
Because that is a longer space than...
Yeah, so I mean, we may end up having to, or not having to do, but we may end up getting the opportunity to do some little built-in shelves or something like that, just for a little bit of knickknacks.
Yeah. And so do you see any challenges with, doing a retrofit like this?
This one's going to be pretty straightforward. However, obviously the drain's probably not going to line up, so it's going to require a little bit more work. Probably going to have to move the plumbing over so it fits the space a little bit better, right? So nothing's ever going to be the exact same. It's, unless you're replacing with exactly what's there, things are going to have to move.
Yeah, like you say, the drain in the corner of that shower base is a little bit offset for for that shower base upstairs.
Yeah.
But what we're talking about is really just concrete cutting, a little bit of plumbing, and set up the new pipe or the new waste for the existing shower base.
Yeah, exactly. A couple hours labor with a sledgehammer and away you go.
Yeah, okay, just like that. DIY tip number 1.
Right.
Yeah, all right, Shane. Well, look, I appreciate you spending some time with us and going through. We'll be super keen to come back and visit you during demo and construction.
Oh, yeah.
And then definitely we want to come back and take a look at this one once it's all done and dusted. So thanks so much for your time.
No problem.
See you next time. Cheers.